Hello everybody and Justin and welcome back to Yofukashi no Uta episode 8. Uh, it very much seems like we're entering a brand new section of this show, right? The first half, close to the first half, although I guess you could say the first half, the first 6 episodes or so, were no, not really. The first like 3 episodes were kind of just screwing around. Sorry, it's late and my tongue is getting twisted ever so slightly. Screwing around at night, just walking the streets of the city and looking at the pretty neon lights, hanging out with vampires and things like that. Then the later 3 episodes, like 4 to 6 or so, we delved deeper into the minds of the characters, both Kou and Akira, and even a little bit Nazuna. So that was a little bit of a deeper exploration. And now episode 7 brought a whole slew of new characters, a whole bunch of vampires who are competing for Kou, it seems. Not just because they like know or think or believe that his blood is super tasty, but because of the sheer fact that he knows about vampires, and that's a danger somehow. So that's going to be interesting because it seems like his choice is genuinely either to be turned into a vampire by Nazuna or to be turned into a vampire by anybody else, except he can't really love anybody else. He can barely love Nazuna as it is, and or to be sucked dry and thus killed. And that's not the best choice. That's not the best outcome. Dying kinda sucks, and I don't think Ko would want that. So his only real option is to fall in love with Nazuna. He is hoping to do that within months, I believe, is what he said. And the episode ended with a little bit of a cliffhanger of everybody being extremely surprised and taken aback by the fact that he said months. I'm assuming they all think that it should take like days at most, maybe weeks tops. They're not willing to take the risk and let him roam free for months on end. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what the deal is because it very much feels like episode 7 and 8 are a two-parter. It very much feels like episode 7 ended in a way where it could have continued. And I guess we're just gonna continue from here. We are still in the same place, I'm assuming. The condo, or whatever you call it, the apartment of the vampire girls, and they're gonna try to solve the issue of Ko and Nazuna. How are they gonna do that? Are they gonna do that? Is Ko gonna agree? It's not really gonna have a choice. What's gonna Nazuna do? She being so weak to everything romance, she's gonna have quite a bit of an issue. Uh, Cole also is gonna have quite a bit of an issue because he still doesn't get what love is. So falling in love is gonna be very, very hard for him. But yeah, what's gonna happen in the second part of this two-parter? I don't know. We're gonna need subs to know that, and I'm gonna need sound, of course, because I wouldn't want to miss the music particularly. And I'm also gonna need to ask you guys for your support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon. Thrown links in the description, or non-monetarily by sharing my content, spreading the word, bringing more people, bringing more viewers to the channel. It really helps the channel grow, and YouTube really likes it when channels grow. What can I say? And with that out of the way, we can finally start watching Yofukashi no Uta, Call of the Night, episode 8 in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, bit of a recap. Yeah, we've seen that. I've never been a fan of Last Time on Dragon Ball Z. Right, there's also the matter of trust. What's up with trusting Nazuna? Why do they need to trust Nazuna? What can Nazuna do to have them trust? Yep, that's the deal they have. No matter how many years, it's even worse. I thought he said months. No, he said years. Ah, okay. Okay, that's the first time we hear of any sort of a time limit. Okay. So we're on a timer. And Nazuna had no clue. Oh, she forgot. She forgot. No thoughts head empty. That literally defines Nazuna. What else did you forgot? Money? Oh, kiss. And blood drinking or just a kiss? And they're off. I love the sound effect of her jumping, probably. Yeah. And if you don't fall in love within a year, you're gonna be killed. She very much is an oddball, isn't she? And she's glad you're the one she met as well. Okay, for a moment I feared that we're not gonna see the OP, but no. We're gonna see the OP. What matters the most, we're gonna hear the OP. That's what matters the most, after all. Although the visuals are also great. And again, we're going with the Romanji. I'm gonna get my fill of the night in the coming days. Today, probably. Uh, when you see it on YouTube, it's gonna be today. For me, as I'm recording it, it's gonna be tomorrow. There's like a local convention around here, and it lasts until like 10 in the evening, and it's like 2 days straight. It's going this late, so I'm gonna have my fill of the night, and it's gonna be cool. 3-day conventions are the best. Yeah, yeah. Probably. Yeah, so what happens if you don't become a vampire after a year? Indeed. I love the zoom on her lips whenever she says koros. uh, I guess Ko and Nazuna are worth each other, aren't they? Both are kind of dumb. How'd you get there? And yes, you are. You need to learn to love really quick. And this is a nice change of pace. Daytime that isn't bleak. Very bright, very colorful, very saturated daytime. Oh, we saw this dude in the OP. Who might you be? Mahire. Who are you? Okay, so he decided to take a nap on the stairs. Great. Okay. A fellow enjoyer of the night. And is it Nazuna? Or is it one of the other vampires? Could be one of the other vampires. It probably is, let's be honest. It's probably one of the other vampires. Only now you noticed. Okay, so he's a friend. Or maybe not. Are those friends or acquaintances? There's a difference between those. Okay, so a day with Akira, I'm assuming? Some really weird lenses they're using here. A lot of fisheye. It's a vampire. 100% it's a vampire. To the point I'm gonna note it down. Where is it? Do I not have a page of notes for Yofukashi no Uta? I do not. Okay, let it be this page then, why not? Oh, hello, Gyaru. Yeah, a bit of a flashback. Okay, that was a cool set of cuts. Want a taste? She does want a taste. No, not really. Okay, is she gonna become cost confident? Or are the other vampire girls gonna want to help him? Hmm? What'd you do? Shaky cam. Yeah, we're getting deeper and deeper into Kou's mind. And she likes it. Yeah, pure and innocent. That's her weakness, I'm assuming. Oh boy, steam! That's how you know things are getting serious. Of course. Do tell. I mean, yeah, makes sense. Nazuna is a true gamer. Yes. Uh, is she playing Minecraft? Holding hands and going to the cinema? Or just going to the cinema? Watching a romance? 50 Shades of Grey? Neither of them is into it. Yeah, I love the art style here. Probably a good idea. It was shit. Yeah, that was easy to tell, wasn't it? Oh, that was quick. She recognized the handwriting? I mean, that last part. Thumbs up. Absolutely. She'd rather game. Honestly, you should have just gamed with her. That's her idea of a date. Order some pizza and play some co-op. That's the date Nazuna would like. I need to be going out at night more often. Find myself a vampire gamer GS. Ah, maybe we could have gone for a meal after all. Or is she gonna go for a drink? Can't sleep. Nazuna? Nazuna indeed. Meal by the nightscape, yeah. Except it's only Nazuna who's gonna be eating. And the music enters again. I miss those little scenes of just flying over the city to some great music. Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. And there's the meal. That's a cool midpoint card. Well, almost midpoint. We're like at 15 minutes, so. And she's gone again. Oh, the Three Stooges. Three drunkards. I like that they're recurring characters. They're having fun. They're making the most of their night. Oh, hello. What's your face? Mahiro. And he didn't recognize Cole. Weird. For how much he believes they're friends, he just didn't notice. His best bud. And there it goes. Your biggest fear has just been fulfilled. Yeah, it's only like the main streets in a city that are busy at night. Like the city square in my city at night, completely packed. Walk just 2 streets away, and every restaurant is empty. I like those empty restaurants of the beaten path. I'll never forgive whoever turned my experimental Japanese street food hole in the wall kind of restaurant into a fucking gyro place. A perfect balance. It seems that way indeed. Okay, Ko is happy about having a friend. That's progress. The presence of gloom in the air. Oh, hello, Akira. You had to come here destroy the moment. Now she's heading to school. You're one to talk. Yeah. That's cool, isn't it? Oh, I thought Mahiro's reaction is gonna be Kakui! But apparently not. That's the big question. It is. A girl? A vampire? Probably. Probably a vampire. I see no bite marks though. So maybe he hasn't been fed on yet. Okay, so that's the way it is. Oh, that's a weird change of pace for you. What's the deal with Nazuna? Oh, Ko is searching for Nazuna, Nazuna is searching for Ko, and it's a vampire, isn't it? The beat in the background, though. Hmm? We're flying or we're hand holding? I guess we're just hand holding. Show me the fang. Or is it that Nazuna wanted to copy them? She doesn't seem the type, but maybe? Oh, there's one group and there's other group. Oh, that's cool. That's a cool shot. Yofukashi no uta. I'm gonna be listening to this ED coming back home at night. To this. Did I say OP? I meant ED. I haven't been listening to. I went to say these nuts. To creepy nuts recently. But I'm feeling like listening to them again. I've been listening to a lot of Arknight's music. I love this show. I repeat it time and again, but I really do love it. One of the most unique shows in recent memory. Okay, now it's just credits, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip it. There's never anything like after credits. If there was any additional scene, it would be after the ED, and there was nothing after the ED, so whatever. Let's go through it again, shall we? There's a couple of moments that I want to take another look at. Yeah, last time on Dragon Ball Z. And we find out there's a time limit. Suddenly, things are becoming much more complicated. Right? Because the whole time, Kou was kind of operating under the. I guess we're kind of going back to the, like, two approaches to love, right? One approach being just let it happen, the other approach being actively pursue it. And this is kind of a maybe not a middle point, maybe not middle ground, but I feel like it's a little bit of an allegory to the point where you can no longer just wait for it to happen. You have to actively pursue it, right? Like you are meeting with a person that you like and you're kind of waiting for something to develop and you want something to develop, but you're not doing anything in that direction. Maybe it's time to step up and try to actively pursue it. I think it's an allegory to a situation like that. For a moment, I wanted to say it may be an allegory to like the thing like what you call it. There's a thing in Japan. It's like fairly prominent all over the world, but especially in Japan, the idea of like a Christmas cake, right? Once you're 30, you're kind of no longer at a marriable age. You're no longer desired on the market of love, so to speak. I wanted to say it might be an allegory reference to that. That there comes a time where you can no longer just wait for things to happen. There is a time limit to love, essentially. But I think that would be reaching. I think that would be reaching too far. I think it's more like there comes a time in a relationship, in a like your pursuit of love, where you have to start actively pursuing it. Or maybe even that is reaching too much. Maybe it's genuinely just a plot point to move things along. Because if not for the time limit, they would just be hanging around at night and not really doing much. Right now, we have something that pushes the story forward, right? We have a little bit of a power behind it. We have some like necessity. We have a time limit, we have a goal, and we can't just let things happen, let things play out. We can just have Kou and Nazuna hang out doing whatever they were doing so far. We have to disrupt the status quo, and the time limit disrupts it very, very well. And a kiss. Uh, hmm. I don't think any of those girls was with Mahiro. I think it might have been another one. Not sure. And yet, this is how Nazuna likes to spend time. Hanging out at night. She says as much near the end. Isn't what we're doing every day a date? Right? We hang out at night, we do whatever we wanna do. We go eat something, we go drink something, we have fun, we play games, we do all sorts of shenanigans. Nazuna isn't the kind who would enjoy a rom-com at a cinema and a dinner date later, right? She'd enjoy, as I mentioned, playing some co-op games and eating pizza and maybe drinking some beer. That's her perfect ideal of a date. Yeah, I don't think the girl who was with Mahiro was in the OP either. So I'm assuming she's not gonna be a particularly prominent character. And yeah, I have a time limit. I also enjoy this little thing with Akira playing on the crossbar or whatever it's called. Right? Like, in many anime and manga and other media, usually when you have two characters talk, it's often very static. They sit across each other and it's just talking heads. Or one character is sitting, another is standing, and they just focus on the action of talking. In this case, Akira is doing something else, something interesting, something to break that staticness, so to speak, of otherwise an uneventful dialogue. Because both Akira and Kou are fairly like unexpressive, so you can't make the dialogue more interesting with their reactions, with their overblown emotions and stuff like that. So we have to go for like visual aids here, and that's what Akira achieves. One comparison that came to my mind is that well, I mean early, but I think up to like Sims 3, your Sims could only perform one action at a time. So when your Sim was watching TV and you clicked on another, hey, talk to him, your Sim would stand up, walk over, and they would just be talking. In Sims 4, they changed it. Your Sim would still sit on the couch and watch TV, but would also engage in some dialogue with another Sim. Kind of the same situation, right? Just talking, only talking, happens, sure, but it's fairly unnatural. You're usually talking like in an everyday situation while doing something else, right? You're drinking some tea and talking to your friend. You're watching TV and talking to your mom, right? You're driving a car and talking to the passenger or stuff like that, right? So it's cool to see that Akira is doing something here. That's only because they realize they want to become a vampire. And yeah, here comes a realization. I'm pretty screwed indeed. Some very interesting shots whenever we see Akira. Right? The whole street is warped. On the left, it curves vertically. On the right, it curves horizontally and also vertically. It's as if some sort of a fisheye lens was used here. I don't think we can count on that woman. Probably not. Kou's act of pretending to be a model student must come from... Is he pretending, though? You can't exactly pretend to be a model student, can you? And he's passed out because he's been out at night. He knows the call of the night, he feels it. And again, very warped perspective and very interesting shot thanks to that. Right, the guardrails, everything is warped. Again, the fisheye lens effect. What were you doing? And suddenly, meek, I have someone I like. Apparently the person can only make time at night. Don't tell me it's a vampire. Yeah, Akira, if only you knew. If only you have known. And yeah, the whole talk of, oh, we're friends, are we not? Are we? Interesting. And yeah, we've seen this scene before where Kou was watching ants and then Akira joined him, and now we see that there was something beyond that, and Mahiru joined them as well. I don't know the rules. I'm gonna teach you. Mahiru is that extrovert friend that wants to include all his introvert friends in all of the activities. There is a series of very cool shots here, very cool cuts. Yeah, sure, the flashback to the previous night. Yeah, this is cool. This is cool. This is cool. This is great. And this leg swipe and her reaching and the explosion of color and light. A very cool, very stylized moment. And we're back to our usual atmosphere of neon lights and the nighttime. A year limit. Yeah, Nazuna doesn't want to do anything towards that. It's all on Kou. How do I fall in love? And this is very unsettling, isn't it? His face in the center, he usually has like dead fish eyes, but it's even more prominent here. The shadow on his face, the fish eye lens yet again, the slightly wobbly camera, chromatic aberration on the edges. It's really an unsettling show, and unsettling shot, unsettling scene, and it matches what he's thinking of. How do I fall in love? Right? It's not only a matter of normal people fall in love. I can't fall in love. I don't know how to fall in love. What's wrong with me? Kind of a crisis, but also the kind of my life literally depends on it. The realization that it's not just a game. And she very much enjoys the archetype of a super pure middle schooler asking what is love life. And the steam. Jesus, the steam. We're going on a date. That's like PS1. Can you play Minecraft on PS1? I don't think she's playing Minecraft. Or maybe she is. I don't know. And yeah, this is what Nazuna wants to do. She doesn't want to go on a date. She wants to game. Yeah, she found diamonds. Isn't that cool? You should be excited for that. Fuck the movies. She found diamonds, my dude. Buzzer system. Okay, BS. Sure. Thank God for autosave. And yeah, rom-com. Nazuna doesn't do well with romance, does she? So it probably is a torture to her indeed. I love the art style change here. We've seen that once before. But it was Kou whose art style was changed. In one of the episodes with Massage. I love this art style, honestly. Next is talking about the movie. Yeah, of course, Nazuna is smart enough to figure out that it's not Ko's ideas, that someone put him up for it. A movie, a cafe, an arcade, karaoke, aquarium, window shopping. That's a lot to do in one night. Finally, a meal overlooking a nightscape. That's probably my favorite part of that plan. And she realized that, hey, meal by the nightscape doesn't sound all that bad after all. Yeah, it would suck too much for you if we ended things the way we did, and it would suck to me because I'm fucking hungry. So, hey, let's go for the last bit. And yeah, we have the scene of flying across the city again, flying to some music. I've been missing those little scenes, those little vignettes that were so prominent in the early episodes. I'm glad we see it again. And some amazing middle point cards. Looking for Nazuna. From what point are people friends? Yeah. And he joined to play baseball, so he's not a loner, he's not an outcast by no means. He can be social if he wants to be. Mahiro was perfect, sure. He very much does seem to be the archetype, but he's not like stuck up perfect. He likes his friends, he likes to hang out, he's very outgoing, very easygoing, and very friendly at the same time, so it's good to have a friend like that. You've kind of a unique presence. You know, you have a unique presence. Oh, stop it, you have a unique presence. And here comes Akira. Her corny detectors were triggered, and she had to stop this corny exchange. And yeah, he's been skipping school and hanging out at night with a girl. I honestly was hoping a reaction from Mahiru to be, wait, seriously? That's so cool! Teach me your ways, sensei. I wanna hang out with girls during the night time. That's amazing! How did you do that? But apparently there was, like, no reaction whatsoever. Just asking, hey, are you having fun spending time with her? Yeah, I am. Okay, that's all I needed to know. I like it. No questioning, no preaching, just, hey, do you enjoy what you're doing? Right? As long as you enjoy what you're doing, it's fine. It's cool. If you start to not enjoy what you're doing, talk to me. I can help you, right? If you don't want to continue this way, I'm here for you. But I'm not gonna try to steer your course in a different direction. I'm not gonna try to change your life. Are you having fun? Cool, you're having fun. Great. Are you having any problems, any issues? You're not. Okay, that's great. That's all I needed to know. I really do like this approach. He encouraged me a little bit. The shoujo sparkles almost. And Akira's corny detector is going full swing. Everyone's role model. What's Akira thinking of? Like, Akira so far is probably the biggest enigma to me. Kou, Nazuna, the other vampires, even you can more or less figure out what they're thinking. Akira, not exactly. She's very, very closed off. She has all those meaningful gazes, but you can't exactly discern what's behind that gaze. Right? There's a lot of mystery to what she's thinking of, what's who she is as a person as well. Right? We know bits and pieces, but very hard to tell from her reactions because there are almost none, from her facial expressions because again there are almost none. She has a resting neutral face. You can't, like, if she was blushing here, you could say that, oh, maybe she has the hots for Kou, but she's not. So maybe it's not the case, but maybe it is. She's staring meaningfully into the distance. Does she like Ko? Does she not? Does she like Mahiru? Does she not? Is she worried? Is she happy? What the fuck is her deal? Interesting. Very. I'm super interested in Akira's character. You're looking for Nazuna. B. Yeah, that's not one of the vampires. Whatever, let's hold hands. What did Nazuna notice? And why was this her reaction? It seems illicit with a middle schooler. Well, you're one to talk. You're also hanging around with a middle schooler at night. Now, sure, you're not doing anything illicit, or are you? Isn't biting and sucking blood both feeding and mating, right? Isn't that the case, Nazuna-chan? Whatever, let's hold hands. And the swinging cam, I noticed they are really often using that, like, ever so slightly swinging. It's not a shaky cam, it's just like I don't know why, but I really do like this effect. The only way they could make me fall even deeper in love with this show is if they started using chromatic aberration even more. I fucking love chromatic aberration. I don't know why. I just do. And yeah, walking two different ways. Nazuna and Ko, I think, in the bottom left, and Mahiru and his girl in the top right. I'm assuming because there's a tinge of red in the top right, and Mahiru is wearing that red hoodie. That's it. That was Yofukashi no Uta, episode 8. Here, maybe. That's it. That was the 8th episode of Yofukashi no Uta. Overall, fairly uneventful. Or rather, uneventful. An episode that there isn't, like, particularly much to talk about. There isn't much to, like, theorize. Akira remains mysterious. Sure, we could theorize about her, but there isn't really any basis for any theories, so it's not exactly possible. Mahiru's girlfriend, I wonder if she's a vampire. On second thought, he doesn't seem to have any bite marks. She doesn't seem to be one of the vampires that we met. Could she be a vampire that's unaffiliated with that group? Possible. Could she be a not vampire? A werewolf? I don't know. Just in case, Mahiru's GF is a vampire slash werewolf. I wonder, are we gonna go for some werewolf vampire competition or something? Well, competition, fighting each other or something like that. Where are we going with Mahiru and with his girl? Because we're going somewhere with it. That much is for sure. Nothing in this show so far has been shown for no purpose. If something's on screen, if a character exists, there's a purpose behind them. It might not be immediately apparent, it might not happen in the very same episode they appear in, but they're gonna be significant. Everything is a Chekhov's gun, essentially. So I'm wondering where it's gonna go. Could it be that Nazuna is gonna have to fight that other girl? Possible. There's a precedent for fighting, for combat, for blood and gore. So it's entirely possible. Could Mahiru become a vampire before Ko? Maybe, if his girlfriend actually is a vampire and will turn him, instead of sucking him dry and discarding in a ditch. Because that's also a possibility. Vampires do have the power to suck a human dry and just kill them through that. I mean, it's just that most of them choose not to, or at least Nazuna and the other girls choose not to, because it's better to leave that human alive and let them produce more of the delicious, delicious, delicious blood. Right? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, we're going places. I feel there's a lot of setup. Like, sure, the obvious setup being the time limit, right? That's the most obvious part here. But also the setup with Mahiru. He appeared not without reason. He's a prominent character because he's shown in the OP. Mahiru's girl is here also not without a reason, but she's not prominent. Not prominent enough to be there in the opening. What's gonna be her role? I don't know. One more thing I'm very curious of is how is our trio going to end? Mahiru, um, Mahiru Ko, and Akira. Right? They seem to be a group of friends, but kind of drifted apart essentially. And now it seems like they have a time during the night where they are all more or less in the same place and they can meet up. Akira on her way to school, Ko just being out at night, Mahiru coming back home from his nightly escapades, and all of them can meet up on that one single playground and talk about stuff and hang out and spend time with each other. And the rest of the night can be spent by Ko by hanging with Nazuna, by Mahiru by hanging out with his girl, by Akira by sleeping because she sleeps normally, more or less. She just wakes up super early. Hmm. Yeah, we're going places. If the previous episode wasn't an indication that we are really expanding the scope of the series from just Ko and Asuna and later also Akira hanging around to now a whole society of vampires, now some additional mystery of who that mysterious girl is, to more friends for Ko, many more characters, many more mechanics of like the time limit on falling in love. It started off as something that could have been a yonkoma, essentially, very episodic, and now it seems like only now, only in episode 8, we're entering some actual. Well, not in episode 8, in episode 7, I think. In the previous episode, we're actually entering the series proper. Everything before that was a prologue. Everything before that was a volume of manga that was given to the editor to give a thumbs up and start a serialization. Essentially, that's the feeling I'm getting. Now that it's been serialized, established, we can go wild. We can open the world. We can introduce new characters, and it can be great, and it will be great because it's Yofukashi no Uta, and Yofukashi no Uta is great. It's amazing. I love it dearly with my whole heart. I think that's it. I think that's it. But maybe you guys have something to add, and if so, do that in the comments. What did you think of this episode? My reaction, my theories, stuff like that. No spoilers, please. I beg of you. I know there is a source material out there. Don't spoil me, because I want to enjoy this thing myself on my own, completely blind. That's the way I prefer to enjoy media. If you do want to talk spoilers, you can join my Discord link here, link in the description. There is a Yofukashi no Uta channel there that you can join and talk spoilers to your heart's content. As long as you use spoiler tags so that I don't read those spoilers. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to that channel to be notified of future releases of not only Yofukashi no Uta but also Madoka Magica Symphony GX, Overlord Season 4, Hatarako Maosama Season 2, and the Ruby Ice Kingdom. And I also stream sometimes and play Disco Elysium, so you might want to stay subscribed and click the bell icon for that to be notified. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or Throne, links in the description. On Patreon for $10 a month to get early access to non-seasonals like Madoka Magica, like Symphogear. For just $1 you get a role on the Discord and you also get a place in the credits, and there are also other tiers if you want one such. On Throne you can pitch in towards my purchase of a proper camera, of new lighting setup, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you can still help the channel a lot, and I mean a lot, by sharing my content, spreading the word, because that brings new people to the channel. The grapevine really works, at expanding the channel, bringing in more people, and thus bringing YouTube's attention to it. If you guys promote my channel, YouTube itself will also start promoting it, and that will facilitate natural growth, and natural growth is the best growth. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it from me for today, for tonight, I should say. And you guys, as always, do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! This episode was a little bit shorter, it seems, but doesn't matter. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time talking, just that you can be on this list if you want. It's a list of patrons, and you can be one of them if such is your desire. I'm gonna stop talking now.